So I'm wondering if you're having some sort of disciplinary or authoritative figure type of persona in your head, whether you're doing that to yourself or if there's like an echo of a past authority figure, whether it be a parent or a principal or someone like that. Hello, this is Weird Corbin, and this is a reading for the full moon in Pisces. The first thing I see is almost right in the middle is a straight bone going horizontal across the paper, almost like it's blocking off the southern half of the paper from the north half of the paper. So it definitely seems that there's a blockage of your core passions, motivations, that type of stuff from projecting out, from progressing forward towards the more outside material world, from materializing. And then directly below that, sort of where there's a white uh, dip into the bottom of the blob, right above the south marker, it almost looks like a silhouette. And it almost looks like a silhouette of Principal Skinner from Simpsons. So I'm wondering if you're having some sort of disciplinary or authoritative figure type of persona in your head, whether you're doing that to yourself or if there's like an echo of a past authority figure, whether it be a parent or a principal or someone like that, that comes up within association to whatever passion or goal or motivation that you have sort of sitting in like the depth of your being, that of your solar chakra. But it's also sort of a creative thing too. And then directly above that is another figure. So it seems that there's some sort of self-talk or discussion or debate, possibly even argument with yourself or with this figurehead that you have in your mind's thoughts that represents somebody from the past and like what you want to do. There's some sort of debate going on there. Directly off to the east side of the paper, right beside these figures, I can see the sun print of the wishbone, and there is some sort of rectangle shape in there. Some sort of crystal, I guess, is in there. I don't know which one it was. Depends on the way it landed. And it is directly in the fork of the wishbone. Literally a block in your wish. Your wish is being blocked. So a wish from your core, a core passion, a core motivation, a core goal, a wish is getting blocked because of this inner conflict, I assume. Something to do with an authority figure, whether it's you being the authority figure and stepping in saying yes, no, whatever this is, you can't do this or you have to do it that way or this way, or it's a echo of somebody else from your past that is in your head telling you can't do things or this that way or you have to do them a certain way, or just very, I don't know, just very controlling over how things are done. Above the in the yellow part of in the northern part in the middle of the page, there is a rib bone and with some other things with it, and it looks like a hand pointing towards this white blob off to the white or off to the west side of the page. I don't really know what's going on there, but directly behind that there's a little heart shape in the sort of reddish brown spot there. The closer I look at that whitish blob, there's different tones of like off-white and white, and it sort of looks like there's a dragon face with the head, back of the head facing the heart, and the forward part of the head facing the finger pointing at it. So are you guarding your heart in some way? Are you guarding your feelings in some way? Is that related to this wish you have? Is part of the block of this wish that you have is you're guarding your feelings around it. You're protecting yourself by not by blocking this wish. You're protecting your feelings in some way. Is that what's happening? But you're definitely supposed to be looking, like it's pointing at this guardian of your heart. You really need to examine this guardian of your heart. It has a little smile on its face. I think it's there to, like, the little dragon smiley face thing going on. I think it's there to protect. It's doing its job. It's protecting you. But do you need it to? If it's blocking your wishes, it's blocking your goals, do you need to get your little heart guardian to stand down? I don't know. It's something that you need to really analyze and look at. There's a finger very directly pointing at it. Like, look at this. The only other thing is at the bottom half of the page where it's like your passions and like a lot of your feelings are and stuff like that is very, very cluttered. Lots of stuff going on there. And a little less so up near the north. When the north is usually where I think of things like going to the outside world or going to the material world or getting manifested in the material world. That is a lot more quiet than the bottom half of the page. So that would possibly be speaking to this block, that things are not getting manifested because of this block that you have, which has something to do with protecting your heart, possibly guarding your heart, guarding your feelings. So you really need to look at that self-talk. You really need to look at why you're guarding your heart. Do you need to with this? Is it getting in the way of the guarding, or what's going on there? And if it is a leftover echo of a previous authority figure in the back of your head telling you yes, no, whatever, you need to look at that one too. Have you been using, is that a past authority figure? Is that also, I was going to say, is that there to guard your heart, to guard your feelings, or is that person there in kind of contrast? Was that the person you were trying to guard your heart and feelings from? That is something you need to look at too. And whatever you come to terms, whatever the answer may be to that, is it still serving you now? Because there's a block here that's getting in the way, and you need to really examine the aspects around that block. Like, why is that block there? And is it serving you in any way? Or is it time to let that block go? So let's see what the cards have to say. On the west side of the paper, I have past influences, and we are using the Halloween Oracle and the Messenger Oracle decks. On the past influences, we have the Lamp from the Halloween Oracle, and we have card 23 from Let the Emotions Flow from the Messenger Oracle deck. The Lamp one is usually, we'll read from the book as well, but it's usually about like putting that light in the window for as sort of like a beacon light to have loved ones come home. But there's also a jack-o'-lantern in the background of the window as well, which could be seen in the same way, but jack-o'-lanterns are also a protection thing to sort of ward off bad energy or negative energy in a way. So we got that push and pull here, and I think that's sort of echoing what we have going on in the print as well, with that, like, you have the wish, you have that light in you, you have that desire in you to, and you're trying to pull that forward, but you're also being very guarded and possibly warding off the same energy you're trying to pull in, possibly. But let's see what the book has to say, see if there's anything extra there that could be useful. This card reminds us that it is a positive thing to remember those who have passed by celebrating their life rather than mourning their death. For those whom we did not have an easy relationship, or even those we did not like, leave us with valuable lessons. Sometimes we learn more from our nemesis than we do from our friends, and so the darkness can illuminate our strengths and our true values so that we can live them more clearly and fully. So yeah, this is possibly touching on the whole past influences of somebody else, that their comments, their general vibe, authoritative vibes, lives in the back of your head, sort of that internal commenter saying you should do this, you shouldn't do that, and all the rest of it. And this is the past influences. So we have been working, I think we have recognized these past influences in the past as well as now. At least hopefully we have. And it's definitely time to start working on really picking apart what is your values versus what is their values. What are you upholding that is truly coming from yourself? And what are you just reading the script that was read to you in the past from this authoritative figure? The Let the Emotions Flow card, I mean, that might stand to reason, is you might have some emotions to wound up in all this that would stand to reason, and you're going to have to face them. In order to let a lot of this drop, you're going to have to face those feelings around this matter and let them come out. You got to, whatever you need to let go of to move forward in a constructive way for who you are now, not who you were before, but who you are now. You're probably going to have to let some of those feelings around the matter, not just the conscious thought around the matter, go. So the book says, emotions flow like water. They can be joyous like a babbling brook, as deep and strong as a river. Give yourself permission to feel and experience them without judgment or blame. Do not try to deny them, for that can only lead to harm and disease. They spelt it dis-ease with a hyphen there. Do not damn them within you. Release them, let them flow, and go. Allow yourself to feel them and learn from them as you embrace them for what they are, a natural response to the moment that you exist in that will pass as the moment passes. So yeah, there's probably going to be some emotions caught up in sorting through the ideas around whatever this passion is that's blocked, the authoritative figure, background voice in your head telling you what you should or should not do, that type of stuff. And then also guarding your heart, guarding your feelings. What is serving you, what is no longer serving you, what aligns with your values, and what was possibly values put on you in the past. In the to the east side of the paper with the current or future type of influences. And the first card is the scrying card, which is intuition, which is basically saying use your intuition to figure this out. You got to look within yourself, get a little introspective, and use your own intuition to figure it out. I usually find this card almost sort of like the deck is like, nope, this is on you, not me. The book says, should you pull the scrying card, I suggest you try it for yourself. Should you pull the scrying card, I suggest you try it for starters. It also indicates that you may wish to develop your intuition further and not rely solely on the logical part of your mind for all the answers. True wisdom takes a balance of logic and imagination and intuition for true wisdom. Also, I would suggest feelings as well. Feel your way through some of it. I think that one's pretty straightforward in this reading of what it means. The next card underneath that is card 45 from the Messenger Oracle deck, and it says time to ground, which also makes a lot of sense too, is you need to get into yourself and your true feelings and your true thoughts and really like tap into and ground into your core being to figure this out. The book says, we all experience moments in our lives when we feel confused, unfocused, and surrounded by chaos and turmoil. These moments are often unavoidable, as are the lessons these moments can impart. But how you respond to them is a choice only you can make. Take a deep breath and a moment to pause and reconnect with Gaia and nature. Seek the silence of the void within while your spirit spirals downward to anchor itself in an ancient tree root in the cleansing embrace of the earth beneath you. So yeah, more figuring yourself out here. Seems like a lot of the prints have been really focusing on doing the internal work lately. This one is definitely getting in touch with yourself and sorting through what thoughts are yours and what thoughts aren't, what are outdated and need to be tweaked or refined, and what need to just be let go of completely. And make sure that all the thoughts that are like the programming that is in your head and running without being checked, it's time to check it. It's time to not just let it run freely and make sure it actually aligns with who you are and what your values are. Another good thing for this too is when you're really looking at your own self-talk going on in your head, we can oftentimes be very critical of ourselves that we wouldn't be with other people. So if you're wondering if something is aligning with who you are, ask yourself if you would talk the same way to your friend going through the similar situation or having similar ideas or goals or whatever. Would you tell them the same thing that you're telling yourself? If you wouldn't tell them the same thing, then that might not be a thought process that you want to keep. It's not aligning with you. If you wouldn't say it to your friend, why wouldn't you say it to your friend? If it doesn't align with who you are, then you need to let it go. I think that's about it for this. A lot of it is stuff that you have to work on and you have to sort through yourself and figure where it's at. If this resonates with you at all, I would love to hear what these blocked passions or wishes or ideas or goals are. Even if you're not ready to work on them yet, you can still say it in the comments, and maybe that would be one step to acknowledge what they are. Or maybe it's something that you have to work through all this stuff to even get to the point of acknowledging them. Maybe you've hidden this stuff so down deep that you have to work through all the internal talk before you can actually recognize the true wish goal that you have. If, however, you're looking at the sun print and you see a completely different imagery going on here, I would still love to hear what you see what imagery you see in the. Even if it doesn't go along with my story or what I see at all, I still would love to know what other people are seeing in this, if anything. Yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you have a good full moon.